shocked as a family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now, and tonight our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear? They're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further. That
investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way. And whatever crashed by the time the police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
But yeah, that's what okay, so it's not that they're preparing the sky for it. It's like they're trying to get people talking about if that is preparing the sky for it, and then when it comes, it'll happen in a place where it's not that there's that going on in the sky. That's what I'm getting. I'm gonna pull clarifiers for each of them to make sure I'm in the right direction, because I thought it was gonna be this is happening to the sky and then they come in there. But it seems like this is happening to the sky while they come in somewhere else. There's some strategy behind that, but I don't really understand it. Especially in this instance would be like, I'm almost seeing like an orchestra person, like a conductor, like waving the wand and like, okay, boom, it appears here. To me, that's saying there's a set date already for when it's going to happen, and that again is something that seems kind of obvious, but this is like, how do I put it, So if there's a set date for the aliens to be unveiled and UFOs to be unveiled, and the sky is happening for a purpose, and it's meant to get people talking there while this then happens somewhere else, that would imply that the sky being smoky is also part of a plan. Allegedly, my opinion. No facts. 5 of Swords, clarifier. 10 of Pentacles. Huh. I'm getting the image of a tug of war, like a behind the scenes tug of war, like almost like a raffle. You know, when you go to a raffle and there's like a basket and everybody writes their name down and then you draw a paper from the hat or whatever, and that's the person that wins. It's like there's a date for this to be unveiled. And this might not still be happening, but it's like there's a date for this to be unveiled. And it's like where it would happen was depending on what was happening in the world. Like on a bigger scale, the people who are all the way up on the in charge, like, okay, this is the, for example, allegedly, in my opinion, this is the date that the aliens are going to be revealed. Which country should we do it in? Okay, we got to see what happens here and there and all this. So there was like, it feels like there was some of that behind the scenes and almost like this tug of war. Like, oh no, we'll be the one to unveil it. Oh no, we'll be the one to unveil it. So what I'm saying is it seems like there's some advantage to whichever country has the first big, like, citizen unveiling, like where normal everyday people get some kind of firsthand experience with UFOs or aliens, like on like a bigger scale. It seems like there's some kind of advantage to the country that gets that to happen first. Like that country was chosen for some reason for that to happen. Allegedly, my opinion. It almost feels like whichever place has the big unveiling, like whatever country, it's going to be presented to the world like the aliens chose us to lead the rest of you. And I understand and I know that there's UFOs popping up all over the world, but I'm saying like a news headline would be something like UFO touches down in the city and 200 people see it, like something like that. Whatever country has that first experience that's like not attempted to be hidden, like whatever one it's like put out there. This is just literally just an example. This is not real. This is an example. Allegedly, my opinion. This would be like if a spacecraft landed in the middle of like, maybe not New York, that would be too big of a thing. I don't know. Florida or something. I don't know. Like spacecraft lands on the tip of Florida, 400 people on the beach run over, see an alien, and then it flies away. Like whatever, for example, whatever country has that type of first experience, and then it's not something that's hidden or hush-hush. It's like we are broadcasting that this happened. Whatever country that happens to first, there's like some advantage, and it's gonna be like they chose us to unveil this to the rest of you. Yeah, 10 of Swords, because I said it's like this is happening over there, so you expect it to happen over there, and then it ends up happening over there. Mountains in reverse. The top of the mountain is where it's all foggy and everything like that, so that's like the where you would expect it to happen, but it's in reverse, so it doesn't actually happen there. It happens somewhere else. 5 of Swords. Secret weapon. Was how I was getting the image of the tug of war, and secret weapon is like the strings of the tug of war. So it's like all the different countries vying for which one of us is going to get the prize of being the one to unveil it. And I'm not saying that's still going on. It's probably already decided, since it's already starting to like happen more clearly, less hidden. So it's already, that part, the tug of war part, is probably over, but I feel like that was happening at some point. Six of Swords. Home in reverse and happy upright. That's interesting, because I asked if so in the original clip I was talking about if people would have to stay in their homes. Got home in reverse and happy for Six of Swords. It's almost like there'll be, I don't know, like the threat of having to stay in your house for a long period of time, and then it gets shortened. Like aliens have landed, we don't know what to expect. Please stay in your houses for the next please plan to stay in your houses for the next 2 months and not leave unless, you know, instructed otherwise. And then it, like, a couple days in, it's like if it would get turned to, okay, by the end of the week you can leave the house, we're good, like something like that. It's really loud aircraft flying over as I said that. I'm gonna pull a clarifier for what the aircraft was supposed to symbolize, because I can still hear it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it because I'm wearing the mic thing. Organized crime. Organized, everything happening at the same time in an organized fashion. The unfolding of this happening there while this happens there. So I don't really expect it to be home in reverse and happy is saying to me, there's going to be the threat of like, okay, we don't know what's going on. You're going to have to stay in your homes for whatever period of time. But then it, like, after it's stated, whatever amount of time is like stated, that gets lessened. So it's like, oh, okay, good. Like, this isn't as bad as we thought. Like that kind of thing. King of Wands. Republican in reverse. Republican in reverse would give me the image of like coming together. I'm just gonna say this because it's like on my mind. I don't know why it's on my mind, but it's always been a thought of mine, and it's interesting that they're pushing for one world government when we have two different parties in one country. Like, one world government, that's one for everybody. We can't even decide on one in a specific country. That, for some reason, when that card came out, that is like, and I understand why. I understand why. But it's almost like if there's like a number line of 1 to 10, it's almost like we're trying to jump from 3 to 12, like with going from different parties battling against each other with two very different views and ways that they would like things done, and then jumping forward into like one world government. That, like, to me, that's what that's saying, that things are happening so that big of a leap, as in like 3 to 12 on a number line of 1 to 10, like things are happening to help that make sense. Like, we're seeing these big leaps in this or that. For instance, UFOs and aliens, we're going from like not 0 to 100, but like a couple months ago, there was no whistleblower. There was no talk about this kind of stuff. And now it's like 0 to 100, pretty much, for example. So it's like things like that are happening because there needs to be a rationalization for why we're jumping from that number line 2 or 3 to 12, if that makes sense. In terms of changes in leading parties. I don't know. Have deep state, and the last one we had Republican in reverse. This is giving me the image of what I just said. It's like, so like deep state is giving me the image of there's Republican and Democrat, but then deep state is where the ones that are working together come together without those biases. So that's what that's giving me the image of. It's going from like, it's going to happen where there's like a big landing in one country, and that's meant to bring together all the other countries under the authority of that one country that it happened to first. And this is the card that in the other readings I was focused on how the time seemed like important, because it's the finger's almost kind of pointing at it in a way, and it's a success, and the focus is the watch and the time. And then serial killer in reverse. Serial killer in reverse is making me think how like all, not in this case, it's not killer, it's the symbology. It's like serial killer, multiple victims, this multiple different countries, but it's in reverse. So coming together, which is also the same as the 10 of Pentacles and the deep state symbolism of Republican, Democrat coming into one behind the scenes. That's what I'm getting. And by coming together as one behind the scenes, I just mean there's Republican and Democrat, and then deep state. I'm imagining that in my mind symbolically to mean right now the ones from those parties that come together behind the scenes to work together. That's the image that it's giving me right now. Three of Cups in reverse. So Three of Cups in reverse is how I said it's going to be the one country that is like they chose us. That was that card. And ironically enough, this came out underneath of Happy Upright, Home in reverse, and the Six of Swords. So it's like, we think we're gonna have to stay in the houses longer than we actually do, and then we don't because of some kind of, I don't know, like almost it feels like, well, we had a meeting with them face to face, and this is, I don't know, it feels like something like that. But it almost feels like not face to face. It almost feels like there's gonna be like a virtual, like, I don't know if I should say that. Hold on. Three of Pentacles reverse, Nine of Cups reverse. It almost feels like there's this would be like not being in the same room. It almost feels like there's going to be some digital like Zoom call that gets released to the world of like, you know, that's literally what I'm saying. And I don't know if that's like a metaphor or not, but it almost feels like there's in due time, whenever that is, like a Zoom call between officials and aliens or something. But it's like, it would be something like, for example, allegedly, in my opinion, we had a meeting with them and it went well, and now we're going to talk back and forth where you can see it on the Zoom call, and then we like make it accessible to everyone. It seems that's kind of what I feel like I'm seeing here. Let me pull some. I'm gonna pull two from each side. Let's see if we get anything that could confirm that. Motel, hotel. That's giving me the image of like sitting in a hotel room on like a business call. Oh, and motel, hotel, if the aliens aren't from here and they're here but they're on a Zoom call, it's like we don't have to be in the same room, but we can talk because we're in the motel, hotel. Devil in reverse. So not having to stay home as long as you thought you were going to because we have some kind of meeting. That would be, we realize they're not evil. They mean no harm. We checked it out or something like that. It's almost like there's some benefit of shortening the length of time between, hey, they're here and here they are. I don't know. There's some benefit of speeding that up, maybe because it doesn't give people too much time to think about it, or maybe it's like, okay, let's bring this in for discussion. Okay, boom, they're here. Okay, boom, they're nice. Like, it's like that, like, so that people, it's like jumping from the same image of the timeline, like 1 to 10. It's like, we need to get from 3 to 8 in this matter by next week. So we're gonna do one step, like all at once. That's what it feels like, because we can't jump from here to there because then we'll freak people out, but we need to speed up our steps in between. That's what it seems like. Trapped. There's no way out. Now that you took a step forward, there's no going back. You're in this plan now. It's unveiling. Mental health in reverse. So how I said, we don't want to jump from here to there because we'll freak people out. We want to take little baby steps, but more quickly, so there's less time in between to evaluate and become scared. If we let it fester for too long, it'll be, oh my gosh, we don't know what to expect, we're scared. But if it's like, hey, they're here, then hey, here they are, then hey, they're nice, we trust them enough to let you out of your house when we previously told you to stay in for your safety, then there's less time for people to get freaked out and question it, I guess. That's what I'm getting. So not quite what I thought, but makes sense. So I was expecting, again, it to be the skies are preparing to kind of drop the aliens in, but it seems like that's not it. It seems like that's happening there so that people question. It's almost like how I said that things are going to start happening so that things can fall into place. That's kind of this too, because it's like, I don't know. It's like there's a need to do it more quickly. I feel like I just got blocked out of what I was trying to say. Like someone like shut the door of it. Okay, never mind. All right, so I'm gonna do, I like how I did in the last couple of readings that password thing where I shuffle and then I just say, give us a password for the reading. I feel like it just like ends it with us knowing that we're on the right track. So do that again. Landfill. Reptilian in reverse. Landfill for some reason is giving me the image of like a bunch coming in at once. Reptilian in reverse is they're not evil. It's going to be somewhere where there's some kind of fighting going on. It's like we come here to, we choose this land to restore life to like the damaged earth. I don't, allegedly, my opinion, I think the how I talked about that first place that's like chosen, it's going to be somewhere that it's either somewhere that's in war or somewhere where they're like days away from beginning a war. So like, for example, let's say that aliens did come to the US first in like that big way, and I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, this is just an example. That would be a sign that we were days away from war. Wherever they are, wherever they come first, it's like either a land that's very damaged or one that is about to go into a major battle. Get a card to confirm. Eight of Cups reversed, a fear of change. So maybe more likely somewhere that's not at battle yet, but is about to be. But obviously we wouldn't really know that because it's not like, haha, we were days away from war. But behind the scenes, wherever they show up at, it's like when you're getting picked on by a bully in the playground, and then you got this like bigger friend that comes over and stands up for you. The aliens are that bigger friend that comes over and like stops something. And I think that will come out because that seems like it's part of like, hey, we helped you stop this, but probably not right away. Definitely not where I thought this reading was going to go, but that's where it went. So it seems to me then like the aliens are going to come in, and with that there will be an increase of technology taking over certain jobs, but it's going to be coupled with, we're doing this so you can focus on, I don't know, like we're making this switch over so that people don't have to do these jobs and can do more, like, I don't know, soul led or like whatever. It seems like that.